It's Sunday. Yay. I'm savoring today because tomorrow's Monday, which means back to work. Yay. This weekend's been a pretty good weekend, all things considered. I started off Friday with a big, huge fucking rant. You may have read that. It's really not my proudest moments when I go off like that, but it's life. That's how things are these days. It's all good though. So let me tell you what's going on around the house today. My daughter has been playing soccer all weekend. Max is with his 2 friends, and Breen is doing a 5-hour bike ride for his Ironman training. So you know what that means, do you? I'm alone. Yay! That's good stuff. Good stuff. And I'll tell you what else is good stuff. Sometimes I like to play this game with myself, where I think about 3 things that I would take with me if I could only bring 3. If my house was burning down. So I have narrowed it down to 4 things. Yes, I can't do it. I can't do 3. I've got 4 things, really. So let me share them with you. I'm going to move the camera for a minute, so it's going to be a little bit of a ride. Sorry. Okay, here we are. Item number 1. Sailor Doll. Oh my God. I love him so much. My grandparents used to travel all over Europe on cruise ships. And they brought this guy back from one of their excursions on the Queen Elizabeth. And back in the good old days, this is what they would hand out to you when you boarded the ship. He's just spectacular. I love him. So I'm coming back in for you, big guy. I'm coming back in for you. All right, let me put him down. Let me show you the next item I would come back in and get for sure. I don't think you can see these very well, but these are, this is my grandmother's silver rosary, sterling silver. I've had this since I was a little girl, and unfortunately, I lost the sterling silver box that it came in. Very clever. The box was shaped like a Bible. No surprise there. But I love this so much. I mean, I just feel so connected to my past, to my grandmother. When I hold it, I just love it. So I've been thinking about taking it to a jeweler friend of mine and getting some chain added in here so I could wear it all the time. Let me show you the third item. The third item here is an invitation to kindergarten that my son received about a week before he started kindergarten. And I just love it. It's just, and that was, 10 years ago. So I had it framed, and it's in my bedroom most of the time, except for today, of course, because I'm showing it to you down here in the dining room. I'm going to cherish this. I really will. My fourth thing doesn't really look like very much, but it's one of those unpainted things you get at the craft store. It's a sailboat, as you can see, and my daughter hand painted it and collaged it at summer camp one summer. And I hang it next to my dresser, and it's got all my bangles on it. The boat reminds me of my journey. Long and crazy and good, and I'm coming back in for this. Yeah, I am. All right, let me show you some other things since I'm on a roll here. I found this jewelry box at the shop that my mother works at, a consignment shop. I think I bought it for like $4, and it was this ugly green thing with, hand-painted rosebuds on it. I just repainted the whole thing, and I made it like my Jane shrine. I love this piece. So on one side of the roof is me in my communion dress just about an hour before I walked down the aisle with the other children and torched my pamphlet. And the other side of the roof is another picture of me as a little girl. Very special piece. I love it, love it, love it. This piece up here is the first big scale collage piece that I ever did about 15 years ago. So I always have this with me wherever I am. And let's see, what else? This is the desk I was sharing about the other week that I got for Mother's Day. And I'm really, really excited to get this down to my friend's warehouse and get it primed so that I can come back and hand paint it, because I've got some wild, great ideas for it. It's going to be great. On top of that is a bowl that is half primed. I haven't even started it yet, and such is my life. But inside are the bodacious pasties with the tassels that I made at my burlesque workshop last weekend. Don't you love these? Yeah. I would model these for you, but I don't think my husband would like it if I shared that. So I'm going to keep them right here in the bowl for right now. I made this piece here for my husband. This has a lot of special meaning for me. It was actually, I put this piece on a piece of tin. It's a tin ceiling tile that we found at this old abandoned warehouse that we used to like to take walks to. Every piece on here was from this abandoned warehouse. The crown was actually a piece of cardboard that a group of kids probably left in a fire pit there, and it just happened to look like a crown. So I took that home with me. And the horse here is actually an old piece of tin something from the warehouse. Like I think it was used to clean something. And it looked like a horse. So I just painted it over as a horse. And it's got some words there which describe how my husband and I met. It says, "Once upon a time, there was a king who expanded his search to 25 miles. A fair maiden across the river was curious about her emails. They wrote, they talked, they met for coffee on a Saturday afternoon, and they lived happily ever after." Yay. So this is the journal chair I'm working on. And I'm determined to finish this before I start any more hand-painted projects, and I'm almost there. I just can't seem to get myself completely into it. I love to sew, so I've got a ton of these tote bags that I've made. And here's some other pieces of artwork that I've done over the years. There's a little glare on that one. That's my brother right there when he was a little kid. Moving right along, there's my Albert chair. And this is my favorite piece of all time. This is a self-portrait that I did when I got divorced from my first husband. Basically, everything on here was just some stage of development that I found out about myself as I learned to be alone. I love this piece. And a lot of the pieces on here were toys that I had when I was a little girl. So really love that piece. Check these sock monkeys out. They're on my old antique twig rocker. I've got a nice collection of them. Here's another piece that my son did when he was in kindergarten, a painting by him. Moving right along, these pictures were also done by my son when he was in kindergarten. And this is a driftwood candle holder that Breen and I worked on together. I hand painted it, and he put it together. These were pieces of driftwood that we found at the site of September 11th in New York City. So I made the skyline, and I also made the Statue of Liberty. She stands in her own separate island. And you can see the back is just regular driftwood. So I love this piece because we made it together. I love to collect old vintage games and pieces that I like to use in my artwork. Something there. Here is a big Day of the Dead candelabra, which I brought back from Mexico years ago. Love this piece. My VW bus, because one day I'm going to own one of these. I'm going to take it across country. Yes, I am. And two little figurines from Brazil that I got years ago. I used to have about 6 or 7 of them, and these are the only 2 remaining pieces, and I've never been able to find anything like it to replace them. Very sad about that. So I think that might be... Oh, let me show you my bowls down here. I love to collect old bowls. and hand paint them. So here's a couple of bowls that I've done. Just love them. And I've got more that are waiting to be primed. Got to finish the other projects though. Finish the other projects. Here's a piece that I love. This is a larger scale collage piece above my couch. It's pretty big and heavy. At one point I thought maybe I would start going in this direction. I would make bigger collage pieces and then try to get them into some galleries. But I haven't quite gotten there yet. That's it for today. Have a great Sunday. Bye.